back to Cultural
All
Fables,
right.
Culture Lion. Since it's so hot, right,
Uh-huh.
fresh off the press right now,
Doc, doc.
is Brother Dr. Umar a fraud? Like all of this going on, for people who haven't heard,
Well,
he went online and he's asking for money. Like that really brings into question. Like he's been questionable before,
hmm
and I think he was reaching a point where he was gaining credibility, regaining credibility, and I think this whole this whole I need people to drop me a couple of dollars, whatever you got. Yeah, I think that's a shot to the credibility. But what do you think?
well, people. When I say people, I mean us. We should have thought about that. The methods on how you would do things, and investors and stuff like that. His methods.
Mm-hmm.
Say if you were building a building, you got timelines and you got certain people. Of course he bought the building, but then there's certain things of renovating and stuff like that. So what companies are you having? If it's paint or any outside construction, you have to have people.
Mm-hmm.
So usually when you have investors, which he's doing in a certain way, you would come back and you would talk to the investors. You know, why weren't anybody? There were certain people that were say, let's hold him accountable. But then it's on himself. So what would make him appear as a fraud? You're not giving back any feedback on how things are going, any status. Like
Yeah, I agree. I mean, some of that is on us,
hmm
the people who have donated to him throughout the years,
yes,
and I'm one of those people.
all
I
right,
used to cash app him
I got you.
back when it was all about the boys in the schools
Yes,
and explaining how the system fast tracks them
yes,
to special ed and leaving his number available that publicly, like that was good work, in my opinion. The books he wrote on that is like now he's not writing books anymore,
hmm
but we believed in the school. But where I think those of us who invested or donated, whatever, there's a difference in donation and investing, and that's part of
yeah,
the
I
problem
got you.
that
Yes,
wasn't distinguished. But those of us who did invest or donate, we weren't held. We didn't. We donated without any strings. There's got to be strings to,
you got you. Yes, yeah.
you know what I mean. Like you said, there we should have said, okay, we're investing, but we need regular updates. We need to see like we need to establish milestones. Do you feel like I feel, and maybe I'm biasing you by saying that I feel it, but
I'm just listening now.
uh, don't let me bias you.
No.
Do you think that because he is going online asking for money, does that does that chop at his credibility?
I think even before he did that, because the school, I don't know when the school was proposed, but it's got to be at least 10 years.
Yeah.
So in that he never, like I said earlier, said any updates on the status.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of give a timeline or a projected timeline.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's the estimated timeline? Are there any hiccups along the road? And if so, there's also humbleness and apology, and I apologize for keeping you waiting and stuff like that.
Transparency.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So I think even before this,
Yeah, but
mhm,
okay. Point
people were
taken.
backing away.
Yeah, but point
This
taken.
kind of, it's like maybe not the final nail in the coffin, but kind of like a nail in the coffin. You're
So it
starting
is.
to,
It does kind of accelerate it.
yeah,
If he did lack credibility before, does this accelerate
and
his lack of
yeah,
credibility?
and it's also that people could look at it from a different angle. Um, you didn't have the skill set to create this.
Mm.
You were in over your head. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
You had good intentions.
we
Let's
don't.
just
How do we know that though? I heard there was one blogger, and I think obviously in the court of internet public opinion,
hmm
his credibility has been taken down a lot.
yes.
You know, we don't know. that he's in over his head, that he was in over his head,
Hmm.
because uh, we really don't know if he put the
The
full
effort to
effort.
it. Okay.
We don't know where he stands. We don't even know the details. He could have had, like, he could have had resumes.
Yes.
He could have had teachers
Lined up.
lined up.
Okay.
He could have had admin staff lined up. Um, he could have had all the things. And I would say, in any endeavor that you undertake that might be novel, you might not know everything that you need to know. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? You can't always have all your ducks in a row.
I got you. But then you would have to have people there with you.
Yeah,
And a lot of times you didn't see a staff or a group of people,
yeah,
even like what we know is not on the level of government, but you know that it's not just the mayor.
yeah, yeah.
It's other people there. It's representative speakers for you. So where are those people? Where is your staff? Like,
Right.
because you're doing something that's on a larger scale proportion. So where are your coworkers? Are
Hmm.
your workers under you?
Yeah,
They're we don't know of any of them. It seems like he's doing everything solo.
possibly. I don't think he can't be doing the construction solo.
Yeah, and we know in any good business, you have to have a team because you don't want to spread yourself thin to men.
Right. But we don't know. We don't even know if he has a team.
Hmm.
They may be all.
Well, it seemed like if he did, because people love this social media
Mhm.
era, sorry, they would come out. There would be some people who say, "Well, I was around him the whole time." You look at, not to switch the conversation, but the Puffy situation.
Mhm.
There are all types of people who come out and said, "I was here at this event, or I was there at this." There are
Yeah.
no people coming out saying, "Well, I know about this or I know about that." He seems to be completely solo.
Right. But the difference with that is the Puffy thing was kind of like out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, he's locked up. You don't plan to get locked up,
Yeah.
but Umar planned to have a school,
Hmm.
and he, things didn't go well. But when he embarked on that journey, he could have said, "Okay, I need a teacher, right?
Hmm.
I need a math teacher. I need this teacher, that teacher. Uh, I'm I'm interviewing you, teacher A.
Yes.
Part of the contingency or part of the requirement for this
Hmm.
is you're not, I'm gagging you
Yeah.
from speaking on any of the details or coming out later. Maybe they sign paperwork, whether it be the contract company, all of that, sign
Hmm.
paperwork. Puffy didn't. There may have been people he had gag orders
Yeah.
or non-disclosure agreements with, but there's still a lot of people out there who he engaged with that it was just spontaneous engagement where there's no planning. You can't compare the two. I guess basically is what I'm
Yes.
saying. It's possible that when he embarked on his mission and everybody he engaged with, he said, "Here's a non-disclosure agreement. Like
Hmm.
you can't speak on this. You can't share on social media.
Hmm.
I need this to be kept under wraps while I get it going."
All right.
And I think he might be astute enough to come up with something like that.
Well, that would make it seem like a con man there because of
I wouldn't say
on
so.
on hindsight now. You know, because it's like where are these? Like I said, where are these people now to defend him? To say, all right, now if that was the case, all right, you need some backup. It's just not just you. Like in court, they say, all right,
Yeah, yeah,
where the witnesses at?
yeah, yeah.
So we need these people to come forth and say, yeah, he was actually calling around doing this and that. You know,
There's not people coming out to defend him, but there's also not people coming out to accuse him
well, they
that were
are.
that were part of his.
Oh yeah,
You
of
know what I
his.
mean?
And see, that's why I say there is
So that
there is no one. That's like you see him. He comes alone. From the time that most people have seen him, he doesn't come with a group of people, or he doesn't have an
right,
entourage or bodyguards or anything like that.
but he's always had this. Well, I don't want to say always. He's he's had this caretaker slash concubine.
Well, I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, apparently, I think and I hate to be, speaking on rumors and stuff, but I really want to just, get your opinion on that. But since it came up, it rolled into it. There was a video.
Yeah. So what's else? So the caretaker of his mother.
Yeah, a video where he's saying, I met with her, I think, 3 times.
Hmm.
And basically, he's saying she gave him heady mo,
All right. Yeah. What's I saw was wild.
right? So she gave him brain, and then I guess for whatever reason, I had to push her away. I forget what the reason was. He said he had to stop seeing her
I
because
think
she.
I think that was
But I said that to say she's one person that we know of that
hmm
he had been engaged with in any form of fashion that we hadn't seen. But I think what brought that about is maybe she did go public with something.
yeah. So he was doing damage control. It seems.
Yeah, but she's one of them that who have been in the background for a long time,
Hmm.
and we haven't heard from. Like you could say, like, what about the people from Delaware State who he apparently bought the property from?
Okay.
What about the real estate agent that was probably involved? None of them have come forward and said, well, he was a
Did he?
jerk or he
Did
didn't have
he?
the
Did he?
money.
No, you said apparently bought the property. Does he actually own the property?
We don't know that. We don't know. I don't know. I didn't dig
Is
that
it just
deep.
an abandoned property that he just goes around and it's not really his or?
No, no, no. We know that from his post
Hmm.
that apparently Delaware State was selling. We know that he was looking for some time
Okay.
for a property, and I think Delaware State was selling it for maybe 2 million
And
or
so
something, and he somehow has acquired it.
so the sale did go through.
That's what he states. So
Okay,
I
so
don't.
there's no evidence, like that would have to be one of those things where he would show people, look, I got the building, have people went through
There may be evidence, and if
tours.
you have the address, for most times you can do a property search,
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not
and you
doubting he
can
doesn't own it. So now there's the next step,
yeah.
because then it will go back to the point. All right, you're still not capable of completing this task, or you're not capable of completing it on your own.
Mm.
And if there are people, which I believe there have been people who offered help, where is the kickback? Where is the push? Why is the pushback? Why aren't those people?
No, well, I mean, again, the credibility is in question.
Hmm.
I believe in that. So yeah, all of those questions are there, and if there's unanswered questions, then there's a credibility. There's a credibility issue. And for me, like I said, I've told you this.
Hmm.
I've wanted to reach
Uh-huh.
out to him, and interview him, and I have before, and he gave me his price. And at the time I didn't think it was worth it, but he to me was starting to build credibility,
Okay.
and I was almost ready. I think I want to interview him. I think I want to give him whatever his price is. I don't know what his new price is because when I asked him at the time, it was some time ago. But like when this happened, I was like, nah.